All right, with me on stage now, South Carolina head coach Will Muschamp, TJ Holloman, and Hayden Hurst. Gentlemen, congratulations. Finished the season with 4 wins and 2 losses to be 6-6 overall. Coach, please, an opening statement.
Well, first of all, it's been great to be in Birmingham. Mark Meadows and his staff, the Birmingham Bowl people, have done an outstanding job for us. I know our guys really enjoyed their time. The 2 guys I got with me today were picked by their teammates as captains. They've had outstanding years. TJ Holloman, a linebacker for us, and Hayden Hurst, a tight end. And certainly the type of student athletes you want a part of your program as far as how they represent themselves on and off the field. And we'll open it up for any questions. Great, no questions.
Will, we were talking to Quentin a little earlier, and he said that you recruited him out of high school, but wanted him to play safety, I believe. What, has it surprised you how good of a quarterback he's become, and what's so hard about trying to stop him?
Well, no, I think we certainly would have given him an opportunity to play quarterback, that's for sure. But no, he's, I think that he's extremely talented. I think his largest talent, in my opinion, is his competitive edge. And you can see how he positively affects the guys around him. And that, to me, is that's what a leader does. And you can see how he competes, and when he's playing well, they play extremely well offensively. They've played well offensively all year. But his competitive edge is what impresses me the most.
Well, you talked about using this bowl practice to work on South Carolina and improve in areas that you needed to. During the bowl practices, what areas have you seen the most improvement?
Well, I think we've improved on both lines of scrimmage, and certainly we'll have a test tomorrow against a very good South Florida team. But I think that was a huge focal point for us, being our physicality's got to improve. And I think our guys bought into that and understood that we've got to be able to run the ball better and stop the run better in situations. So that was something we really wanted to focus on.
Coach, USF runs a fast-paced spread offense. Is there really one key to slowing them down, or is there anything you can really narrow down, or is it a multitude of things? Or how have you gone about preparing?
I think there's no questions that they create a lot of space plays, and when you got Quentin and Marlon Mack and Rodney Adams, and there's other very talented guys, on their football team offensively that create a lot of space plays. You got to tackle well in space. Obviously, if you have a high percentage on third down, they have a hard time to get to some of the tempo that they want to. But the thing that jumps out at you is the amount of long yardage plays that they create. A lot of explosive plays on tape, a lot of quick scores on tape. But a lot of those things go back to eye control and tackling, and having your eyes in the right spots and tackling and getting guys on the ground in space.
Speaking to the players, obviously it's been a little bit since South Carolina's been to a bowl game. Talk to me a little bit about the experience that you found here in Birmingham.
It's been a very welcoming experience here. They've shown nothing but great hospitality. The events we've gone to have been great, just to be around the guys, seeing the city of Birmingham. We've just enjoyed our time here.
Yeah, it's been fun, all the events they've had set up for us all week, and then just kind of getting to see the city. I mean, it's been a great experience so far, and we're ready to get out there and play tomorrow.
Well, what would a bowl win mean for this program, especially after starting 2-4?
Right. Well, I think coming from 3-9 and a coaching change and the way that these players have bought into what we're trying to do, certainly a solid foundation has been set. But it's always good to go in the off season with a win. At the end of the day, and moving forward and having that positive feeling going into the off season and sending our seniors out the right way, which is very important to me.
Excuse me, Coach. Just dovetailing off of that, how important is this bowl experience, not only the practices but the games for your freshmen and underclassmen? They contributed a lot, and how can they, kind of take this in and kind of build off of that going into next year?
Well, again, football's a developmental game. You got to go play the game. In order to be a better 3 technique, you need to take on a 700-pound double team. And we were able to do a lot of that in Columbia and continue to do that our first day here in Birmingham. So you've got to play the game, and we got 8 great practices in Columbia, and our guys approached them the right way. And we got a very young football team. We're talking in terms of especially on the offensive side of the ball, the production that we've had from young players has been outstanding. So for us to get these extra practices has been huge for us.
Specifically with Jake, just how's he kind of come along during the bowl prep and what you kind of see from him the last month?
No, I think he's had a really good bowl prep, and I think that again, young players, the game continues to slow down for them the more reps they get, and the game continues to slow down for him as well as some others. I thought Brandon McElwain had a really good bowl camp as well. Did some really nice things to put those guys in a lot of situational looks, and getting off the coaches getting off the field, letting them play the game. So that's the most important thing, and to see them making better decisions at the quarterback position is huge for them to continue to get those reps.
With both those guys, what's the hardest part about coming in as a true freshman quarterback and playing in the SEC right away?
Well, what's not hard about it? I mean, there's a lot that are. It's very difficult to do. Obviously, earning the respect of your teammates is the first thing. To be that guy, regardless if he is or not, the quarterback is a leader, and that's the way that your teammates are going to look at you, whether it's from the defensive side of the ball, special teams, and certainly on the offensive side of the ball. Both of those guys have handled their situations extremely well. They're both mature beyond their years. They both have the it factor. They can make a difference for our program.
TJ, how much are you thinking about this last game for the senior class and going out with a W tomorrow?
It means a lot to us for our legacy as players here at this university. We've been here for 4, some of us 5 years, and to go out with victory would be a very sweet ending for us.
TJ, when you watch film of South Florida's offense, is it all about just stopping Flowers? Do you stop them if you slow him down, or is it more complicated than that?
They have a bunch of great athletes. They're very explosive when it comes to their offensive schemes, and we just have to settle down tomorrow, get out there, control the pace of the game, and if we put him in the box, keep him in the box, and make him focus on throwing the ball, we should have a good shot.
Well, I haven't seen Sky Moore here this week, and maybe that's just because he's injured. Do you have any more idea about his plans for next year? Has that changed as far as you know?
No, I feel very comfortable about where we are. He's with his family right now. He was not cleared to participate in any contact, and he wanted to be with his family.
For both of the players, you guys have struggled a little bit on the road. You guys have admitted that. Just how do you go about fixing that heading into a neutral site game tomorrow?
I think for us the biggest thing is just trusting in coach's game plan. I mean, we get out there and just execute the stuff that we've been practicing all month. I think we've got a good shot at giving them a good game.
This is for the team captains. What have you guys as leaders, what have you done to make sure that these young guys come into a bowl for the first time, have been able to stay on track and remember that it is a business trip and not have too much fun?
Coach Muschamp and his staff, they come out and tell us there's a time to have fun and then there's a time to be serious and focused. And I feel like as a team this year in this bowl game, we've handled that very well. We've buckled down when we need to buckle down, but we definitely enjoyed ourselves when we had the time to enjoy ourselves.
Will, your offensive line coaching position, have you put that completely on the back burner, or have you made progress with that hire in the last couple of weeks, and are you still on the same timetable?
Still on the same timetable. My biggest thing is before January 12th to have somebody in place.
Coach Latina arrived yesterday as planned.
Yeah, he was in practice this morning. He had a prior engagement with his family, so this was something we knew 2 weeks ago when we decided to make a move there.
Hayden, I wanted to ask you about Jake real quick. I know Coach Muschamp mentioned, getting the leadership of teammates for a young guy. What did he do, especially as such a young guy, to kind of gain control of the huddle and the offense and all that this season?
Just the way that he kind of carries himself. I mean, we saw it the first game with UMass, and then he came to that Tennessee game. And I mean, being 19 years old, it's kind of impressive with what he's done. I mean, you never see the kid get wide-eyed or anything like that. It's just the way that he carries himself is very impressive for his age.
Coach, going back to the offensive line real quick, has John Latina expressed any interest in wanting the position full-time? Is that something you would consider?
John's an outstanding football coach, and we've had a couple discussions here and there more than anything about good offensive line coaches out there and who would be a good fit for us, and that's been basically the extent of our discussions.
And also, there are a couple of high-profile players sitting out bowl games. What would your reaction be if one of your players came to you and wanted to do that?
Again, that's an individual's choice and decision, and I understand both sides of it. And if a young man doesn't want to play the game, then certainly we got to get ready without him, and that's the way it's going to be. So moving forward, I certainly see this being a trend that will continue, and that's part of it.
TJ, Coach mentioned earlier about digging out of 3 and 9, and going to a bowl game after last year and all what happened. When you think about next season and watching this program from afar, what do you foresee as the next step for this program?
I see it going nowhere but up. Coach Muschamp and his staff have done a great job in laying the foundation this year. This year's been a great year for us, for the program, and I don't see this university and program going anywhere but up from here.
Dawn with Fans Favorite Fan right here. I'm in front of you. Hi. My question is to piggyback off of that, but it's to all of you guys. What would be the direct message that you would want to tell fans after dealing with, a losing streak in the beginning and saying, hey, we're at a bowl game and stick with us and hang with us and we're going to keep going from here? Like, what would you say?
I would just say to hang with us because, being 3 and 9 a year ago, being 6 and 6 in a bowl game, we've shown nothing but progress. So my message would be just hang with us. As DJ said, we're going nowhere but up.
Will, you've been around football for a long time. How does a coaching change affect the facade of a team when you're looking at South Florida now with Taggart leaving and Charlie coming in? How does that affect the facade of a team heading into a bowl game?
Well, I think for one game, it's the players are pretty resilient. They're a lot more resilient than we are as coaches and older people, and so they move to the next step and the next part of their lives a lot easier at that age than maybe we do. So I don't know that it'll be a distraction at all. I know TJ and his staff will do an outstanding job, and they've been very successful. We're talking about a team that's won 10 games and done a really good job. So I don't see it being a distraction for their team. Willie didn't play a snap this year, so they'll be all right.
For the panel, South Carolina's won their last 4 bowl appearances. Any pressure or maybe extra expectations for you guys going into tomorrow's game?
No pressure. We just have to go out there and execute the game plan. They've had a great week of bowl preparation, and it shows tomorrow. So we just need to go out there and give our best efforts and execute the game plan like the coaches have laid out for us, and let the chips fall where they may.
Coach, when you're facing an offense like this, is the game plan going to be more running the football, controlling the clock? Maybe that's your best defense on tomorrow.
Well, we got to be able to move the football and move the chains, and whether that's throwing it or running it, we need to be effective offensively. We need to score some points in this ball game tomorrow. And we understand that offensively. So, how we plan to go about that, we'll see tomorrow. 2 o'clock and tune in. So 1 o'clock Central Time. Excuse me.
Coach, I know you touched about Red Alert. Just the historic significance of playing at Legion Field.
Sure.
What does it mean just winning at a venue like this?
Well, again, it's been a great week for our guys, and certainly anytime you have an opportunity to showcase your program and where we're headed with our program, I've said it over and over again, I'm excited about where we are, but I'm really excited about where we're heading. It certainly will be another step forward in a positive direction for us.
And just playing in this venue, what does that kind of conjure up in terms of just memories?
Well, I think for these guys, they don't know, but growing up, in the Southeastern, conference footprint, watching a bunch of Iron Bowls, watching the Birmingham Stallions play, watching all the great games that have been played in this stadium and the great players. We heard Joe Cribbs and Sean Alexander talk today at our luncheon. For a football historian person like myself, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
Will, everybody good as far as no missed curfews, no injuries or anything like that?
No, really good. Yeah.
Well, Becker, what do you want to see from your seniors specifically tomorrow? Like when they get out on the field, what do you want their approach to be?
I want to win.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you.
Hey, and I was going to ask you specifically, your relationship with Casey Crosby, how has that grown on and off the field, and how have you seen him improve this season?
Week 1 heading into the season, we weren't kind of sure what the rotation was going to be, but it kind of fell into him at our Y position and B position. Me and KC, our friendship has just grown tremendously this year throughout everything. I love the guy. It's fun to play with a guy like that.
Anything else? All right, well, thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow for kick at 1:03 Central Time.